おいおい、大物すぎやしないか。
相手にとって不足なし。
俺たちキーブレードヒーロー3と僕たち
Kingdom Hearts 3 is well on its way, and with only 4 months left until the game is finally released, we are spoiled rotten with trailers, teasers and hints on what the final game would be like. The newest trailer showcasing the Big Hero 6 world was released at the Tokyo Game Show this week, and oh boy, is that trailer filled to the brim with details for what's in store for Kingdom Hearts 3. Just before we dig into the details of the trailer, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Huawei Honor for sponsoring this video. Now let's dig in. Firstly, the new worlds are huge. We've already had countless worlds teased and revealed, and Tetsuya Nomura has voiced several times how the ambitions he had for the worlds you visit, in terms of size, has never been met in the previous games. However, it's not until now that we get a sense of just how big the new worlds actually are. Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 were already huge games. Both games had you returning to the world several times to fully complete them, and despite the areas you visited having clear borders closing them off, they still felt vast in terms of discovery and replayability. With Square Enix changing to work on the Unreal Engine 4, we get to finally experience the full vision Tetsuya Nomura had for the worlds. And even just from a trailer, it's clearly a lot. As you get to fly around on the back of Baymax, the new open world element to the series is fully explored. I don't expect us to be able to visit every single building we fly or run past, but the fact that the maps have expanded to such an extent that we can fly through the city without hitting an invisible wall is a huge step up. It makes the worlds feel more alive and not like tiny separated theater setups. It feels more involved and like a place where people, besides the main characters of the world, actually live. Not only that, we got to have a glimpse at the many things you can do in the world as well. Mini missions and time challenges we've seen from previous games make a comeback, which is great because I definitely needed something to remind me of the many stress-related dreams I had back when I played Kingdom Hearts 2 and ROXAS needed money. I don't think there's any die-hard fans that were genuinely surprised to see these characters make a comeback, but I think it's safe to say that we were all equally ecstatic when we saw their faces in glorious HD. No one really dies or goes away in Kingdom Hearts, but I was still excited to see characters such as my favorite gambler Luxord confirmed in the TGS teaser, and now shown in all his glory in the long trailer, hanging out in Port Royal. For those that haven't played Chain of Memories and never got the chance to experience several of the nobodies in that game before they get defeated, you will get to meet characters such as Laxine, Malusia, Vexen and Session, or rather Yenso, in Kingdom Hearts 3. Laxine and Malusia were confirmed back when the E3 trailer was released, but seeing several of the nobodies in the new GGS trailer, such as fan favorite Demix, leads me to wonder whether or not we will get to see other nobodies such as Lexius or Solden. Not only that, we get to see characters such as Sayax again. Seeing him in particular sparked my interest due to his connection to Axel from before they became nobodies, and one can only hope that we get to see more of his character, or at least have Axel, or rather Lee, talk about him. For a very brief moment, we see the heartbreaking image of Axel crying, revealing the emotional rollercoaster that we are in for. Axel is still dealing with everything that has happened prior to this moment, losing Roxas and Sayax, leaving his safe place at the organization, finding out the true plans of said organization, having a near-death experience, and now having to rebuild himself from the ground up. This particular moment feels a lot more real and emotional than any other moment in the franchise where someone cries. It might just be the visual upgrade, but the framing, the gasp and the hand that's about to come to hold his face all tells me that this is not just a visual upgrade, it's a heavy emotional kick to the gut that will most definitely tear me apart. The moral ambiguity of the nobodies is fascinating. In Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, it was revealed that the longer the nobodies stay alive, the more human they become, capable of regrowing their hearts and feel emotions. The fact that some of the nobodies revealed in the trailer are still dressed in black and seem to be completely okay with XEHANORT'S plan, which is a stark change from the older games where the true intentions of the organization were kept hidden from most of the organization. They seemingly still feel and act the same way as they did in the older games and haven't changed in terms of character development. However, I believe that we will get to see their characters having to deal with the consequences of choosing to follow Xehanort, as we've seen every single character in Kingdom Hearts so far having to deal with the consequences of their choices in one way or another. A completely different theory could also be that these nobodies are not the same nobodies we saw in the previous games, but rebuilt from the ground up to be exactly like them, from the pieces left behind when they were defeated. This might not be a massive reveal, but I am psyched that Sora has a phone and that he's expressing such genuine joy at the idea of being able to call his friends at any given moment. It is also here that we see Section, or more likely it's Yenso, calling Sora on the phone, meaning we will get to work together more closely with the former nobodies as they return to their true selves. Most likely we will also get more story on what happened up until the point the organization was created, but most importantly, you can take selfies now. As if I needed another reason to pour yet another 100 hours into the game. No wait, what am I talking about? Of course I did. I will be taking selfies with every single Heartless I can find in the game, and there better be an achievement for it. I also want to point out yet another thing that Sora picks up. I'm talking about this Keyblade in particular called the Master's Defender, belonging to Master Ericus. Back in 2013, we were treated to this teaser of Sora in his Kingdom Hearts 2 outfit on Destiny Islands, picking up the Master's Defender Keyblade. Now, 5 years later, we get to actually see some of that particular scene, voiced and with context as well. As we've already established, no one truly goes away in this game. The TGS trailer starts out with an upgraded version of an older trailer, with young Xehanort and Arrakis playing a game of chess. This serves as a reminder that this scene is still undoubtedly significant for the rest of the game, and perhaps hints at Master Ericus' reappearance. On the beach, Goofy points out the age-old phrase, "May your heart be your guiding key," one that is uttered by Keyblade bearers as a reminder to their cause, to which Sora responds, "This will be my guiding key?" As Sora didn't pass his Marga Mastery exam in Dream Drop Distance, this game will show us what the next step for Sora is on his mission to find his place in the story and save the people he's shielding in his heart. As Arrakis was the master for Aqua, Terra and Ventus, and Ventus' heart is still sleeping inside of Sora, perhaps Master Arrakis can still act through his Keyblade to guide Sora to help save his former pupil, including Aqua and Terra. Based on the trailer, it seems that now, more than ever, the organization is dead set on carrying out Xehanort's plans. When we see Laxine in this scene, Sora points out that they can't possibly have all 13 vessels in place for the 13 pieces of darkness that Xehanort needs. Axel and Roxas are no longer with them, and their plan to get Sora in Dream Drop Distance failed. However, Laxine immediately responds that they do, in fact, have all 13 vessels. This leads me to think that either Laxine is a liar, or she is referring to the fact that they know who they want to be the 13 vessels, but they haven't actually captured all of them yet. Later in the trailer, we see Xemnas and Ansem talk about one of the vessels they need for their plan, specifically saying, if he wavers from the path we lay, we destroy him. And the scene cuts to Sora. Now, I don't know if this is purely to keep the trailer interesting and that he is actually someone we haven't met, but we can assume that it is in fact Sora they are referring to. They've already tried once to get Sora as their vessel, and crucially, when that plan failed, Xehanort didn't seem fazed by it whatsoever. Most likely, they are still thinking of using him as their final piece, along with a few others, and we as the players are in fact still playing the game according to Xehanort's plans, without even realizing it. Speaking of vessels, holy fudge, Aqua! At E3 earlier this year, we got a glimpse of Aqua's yellow eyes and silver hair. The entire fandom exploded, as this indicated she has succumbed to the darkness after years of wandering in the realm of darkness, and is being used as one of the 13 pieces of darkness. However, new fan theories have emerged, and many suggest that the Aqua we saw is not Aqua at all, but a replica just like Replica Riku in Kingdom Hearts 1, and I ideally hope that that is the case. I can't bear to see my sweet child like this. If that theory is sound, or any theories close to it, then this last clip with Vanitas standing above her about to unlock her heart is a certain clue. but based on what we can see, AQUA still has her original hair color. So if we go with the replica theory, this right here is the true AQUA, while her replicant is wandering around elsewhere, causing havoc in the fandom. This could also be moments before Vanitas extracts her heart to, perhaps, create a being of true darkness, that being the silver-haired, yellow-eyed AQUA we saw earlier in the trailer, leaving behind a normal AQUA, just like it happened to Ventus in Birth by Sleep. This is all speculation though, and nothing is confirmed. But please do have a go in the comments at dissecting this particular moment along with us, and spew your theories out. Not only do we get to have our hearts broken by AQUA, but we do get to see some of the many people inside of Sora's hearts that he's kept safe for quite a few years now. Already back in Kingdom Hearts 2, right after Roxas merges back with Sora, we get to see Roxas still responding to certain people or events through Sora. This is the same case in the GGS trailer. Here we see Sora hanging out with Hero on top of San Francisco, and as he's enjoying a quiet moment dangling his legs over a rather high ledge, Roxas's memories kick in and momentarily take over. Sora briefly experiences the moment as Roxas and sees Hainer, Pence and Olette before him. A bit further into the trailer we see Sora together with the actual Hainer, Pence and Olette. We've already seen them plotting together in the E3 trailer, and we got a glimpse of Sora fighting in Twilight Town in even earlier teasers, but now we get an idea of what their motivation is. They specifically say another Twilight Town awaits, meaning the trio has been told about Roxas, is aware of him and the situation, and is interested enough for one reason or another to go to the digital version of Twilight Town together. Will their memories merge together with the digital versions of themselves? Are they looking for a way to revive Roxas and have him exist as his own person? I am personally hoping for both of those scenarios. We now have full confirmation that the information of Ventus's whereabouts did in fact slip through to Xehanort. In this particular clip we see Vanitas sitting on the throne that Ventus sleeps on. Back in final chapter prologue, when Xehanort briefly takes over Terra, AQUA accidentally reveals where Ventus is, and Xehanort pieces the bits of information together, and we now see that he has successfully found him. Everything that AQUA has fought for to keep Ventus safe is now at risk. One can hope that this means we actually get to see Ventus and help fight off Vanitas. Vanitas seems to be extremely prominent throughout the game based on the trailer since E3, suggesting an upcoming and long-awaited showdown. Those were the 7 things that stood out to us when we watched the Tokyo Game Show trailer. Is there anything we missed? Please do leave a comment below, and let's keep our excitement for Kingdom Hearts 3 going. Just before we go to the end cards, I'd just like to take a quick moment to give a shout out to Huawei Honorplay for sponsoring the video. They launched a new phone which you might fancy checking out, as it's made with gaming in mind. It's possible to have a peek at their store in the links provided below. Anyway, if not, do have a look at these other videos we have on the channel. If you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe, but most important of all, do have a lovely day. Until next time!